السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome grade 7 boys, with you Mr. Musab. Today we are going to take this lesson 5, specialized plant cells. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to know the structure and the function of a specialized plant cell. Last lesson we have taken specialized animal cell, and today we are going to take specialized plant cell. The new words for this lesson: palisade cell, xylem cell, phloem cell, root hair cell.
And within animals. Specialized cells are cells that have become differentiated to perform a certain function. First up, let's look at that classic plant cell. The one that we often draw is a palisade cell, and its job is light absorption and photosynthesis. It's adapted for its function in that it's got a large surface area, and it's also got lots and lots of chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are the organelles which are responsible for photosynthesis. Next up is the red blood cell. This one is responsible for oxygen transport. It's got a large surface area which is provided by that biconcave shape. It's got no nucleus in some species. In humans, the red blood cells have got no nucleus in, and that gives more room for hemoglobin, which is what's responsible for carrying oxygen. Nerve cells are responsible for transmitting nerve impulses. These are very long, so they can take information over long distances through the body. They've got connections at each end, so they can connect up to the receptors or to the next nerve cell, and they can carry electrical signals. Sperm cells are able to fuse with an egg cell known as an ovum to produce a zygote. They've got a tail to swim, they've got lots and lots of mitochondria, and they've also got enzymes in the head inside of something called the acrosome. Next up is the ovum, which, as we've said, it fuses with the sperm to make a zygote. This cell is particularly large. It's got a large cytoplasm with yolk as an energy store, and it's also got an outer layer that prevents more than one sperm from entering. Ciliated cells are responsible for moving mucus along, for example, to move mucus which traps dust and pathogens out of the lungs. They've got hair-like projections which are able to move in order to waft mucus. In this diagram there are several ciliated cells, and you can see the little hair-like structures on top of them known as cilia. And there is a goblet cell in amongst them which produces the mucus which is able to trap things like pathogens and dust. Root hair cells are responsible for the intake of water and minerals from the soil, and they've got a particularly large surface area in order to do that. Next up is the xylem vessel. Now this is not an individual cell, but it is made from the remains of cells. Its job is transporting water, and the cells that once made it up have hollowed out to form a sort of tube. It's got a strengthened cellulose wall, it contains lignin for extra strength, and obviously it's got that hollow lumen in order for water to move through it.
Xylem cell, it carries water and minerals. So its function is to carry water and minerals from the roots to the leaves or other plant parts. So it takes or carries water and minerals from the roots, which is in the soil, to the leaves or other plant parts. Its structure, it have no cytoplasm. They are joining together, the all cells, xylem cells, they are joining together to form long hollow tubes. As you can see here, long hollow tubes, thick walls with lignin and no end walls between cells. Second cell for today is phloem cell. It carries food from the leaves to other plant parts. Its structure: cells have end walls with holes. End walls with holes, as you can see here. We have end walls between each cell. Root hair cell. Its function: to absorb water and minerals from the soil. It also has thin wall. Why thin wall? So it can absorb water easily. And has long and thin hair-like structure, increases the surface area also for the same reason, to absorb water easily. Now, leaf palisade cell. It absorbs sunlight and carries out photosynthesis process. Its structure: for more absorption of sunlight, found at the top of the leaf. Why it is found at the top of the leaf? To absorb more of sunlight. Its tall, closely packed cells contain lots of chloroplasts, which contain chlorophyll. Now let's solve some questions. What are specialized cells? Of course, you have to memorize the definition for specialized cells, which means cells that are differentiated to do a certain job, or you can say cells that are changed to do a certain job. Give examples of specialized cells. Specialized what? Specialized plant cells, not animal cells, plant. So we can say xylem, phloem cell, palisade cell, root hair cell. Which of the following is a specialized plant cell? Of course, xylem. It's not red blood cell for animal, and muscle cell also for an animal. Which specialized plant cell has no cytoplasm? It's also xylem cell. Which specialized cell is found in a leaf? A palisade cell. A palisade cell to absorb sunlight. Thank you. I hope you understood this lesson. Study hard. Be safe. Thank you. Goodbye.